Dude, I've been waiting for days to see what the Angry Joe Show has to say about Fast and Furious 10. I've been very excited for this. So, we're about to get started. Thank you for checking out the channel. I appreciate all the love and support. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you. Let's get into it.
Review of Fast X, the 10th film in the Fast and the Furious franchise. This one directed by series newcomer Louis Leterrier. Screenplay by a different guy, Dan Maziao. And I gotta say, I don't know about you guys, but I've been somewhat of a champion of these films.
You have.
Yeah, now I didn't like the last one all that much, but I definitely liked it better than you guys. I like going to these things because they're big, dumb, they're stupid, there's explosions, there's set pieces, right? And then the family, all that jazz, right? And the hero worshiping the muscles of Vin Diesel. He's always got to do something. He's got to have his moment. And here's the thing: is I unfortunately I don't know how you guys feel, but this maybe I am joining your ranks now because this was fucking dumb. It was stupid,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
honestly a
Yeah.
little unbearable. And while that's I can already hear the typing.
That's
That's what they're supposed to be. I'm the one that said that. You don't need to tell me that. They're dumb. They're like stupid fun is
Yeah.
what I called these films previously, right? Well, this is just stupid now, unfortunately. I don't know if I'm in a particular mood or
That's
what's
exactly
going
how I
on,
felt.
but
Exactly.
I just felt like this one didn't work. The magic of the previous ones is lost here. That I think is in a combination. I tried to figure it out. I'm going to give you reasons for it, okay? Because I know I'm already being downvoted because Alex told me that this one is rated
Higher than the last one.
even higher, and I feel like I'm in fucking Bizarro world now because what the fuck is going on? So I will give you reasons why I didn't enjoy this one as much as the last one, and as previous Fast films. I think Fast 7 probably one of the best ones. And that I think it's attributed to the new director and this particular writer, this screenplay. Those two guys that I just finished mentioning, they're different from the people that did Fast 9. They're also different from the people that did
Oh.
Fast 8.
I didn't
And
know
so
that.
I think
I
maybe
did not
some
know
of
they
it
had a new
lies
director.
there.
That's probably part of the problem.
Different from Fast
That's
7 as
probably
well.
part of the
So
problem.
maybe they weren't quite up to the task. And this film is overstuffed with characters and stupid dialogue, stupid moments.
Yeah.
And what's even worse is we have goddamn fucking pointless subplots that go nowhere, that add nothing, and our focus is on the wrong characters. We have several new characters introduced as if we don't already have enough characters to deal with in the first place, which is already a problem in this film because everybody,
Yeah.
writes their own script. I gotta have the cool moment. Now it's my time to have a cool moment, and then we're adding new characters. Now, I will say the one saving grace of this particular one is Jason Momoa. I think Jason Momoa is having a great fucking time, and he injects the energy in an otherwise tired franchise. I think we're losing it by the 10th. And this film ends like it's motherfucking Empire Strikes Back. Like it deserves like a trilogy in its own. And I'm like, oh God. So it doesn't even end in a satisfying way that you were hoping for.
Like
And
Infinity
they're going to
War.
make more.
Like
Family.
you're trying to be Infinity War.
So
Man.
that's how I feel about it. I think Brie Larson, who is added here, has no fucking purpose.
She had the MacGuffin, so we needed to have her.
And then finally, I excuse all this stuff. I do excuse all this, and I know y'all excuse all it, the people, the fans of the franchise, because I was for previous films. For the set pieces, for the ridiculousness, right? I just don't think the set pieces here are that good. what do we get? We get a
Yes.
fucking ball rolling down.
Yes,
and
You don't like
a
Rocket
fucking
League?
thing.
Yeah,
and
it's fucking
and
Rocket
then
League.
we saw the other thing. We get the trailer thing where he pulls down the helicopters with his car. What else do we get?
This is why I love Angry
Dreaming
Joe,
car,
bro.
the
He
rocket
says
films.
everything that I'm thinking. bro.
But these aren't as cool as previous times, going to space and fucking submarines and fucking tanks and shit. It's and there were moments in these melodramatic moments that reminded me of Fast and the Furious Crossroads, Joe. That this shit was going into video game, territory. And what I mean is, we're already in stupid territory. We're already talking about
horrible
stupidness,
game.
right? But there's a certain area where you go cringe stupid rather than fun, dumb fun popcorn stupid. And that's where I think this thing went. Bad child acting with Vin Diesel character's son, and just, yeah. That's not to say there's not moments of fun here and there, because there is. But it's just not working for me anymore at that level. If I was watching a marathon, or we were to review all of these in our
No.
Marvels, remember how we did it for fucking Marvel,
That was
DC?
entertaining.
We got to do one for Marvel. We got to do one for this one. Y'all are no.
I haven't seen them.
I
so
think we need to do it, but we got to let them play this out.
It's
And
not-
this
yeah, it's not
film in a
over.
new series of, I don't know what they plan to do, trilogy or maybe 2 to wrap this storyline on, because they have so many fucking characters. There's after credit scenes, sequels. I'll read their plans for the sequel, but once that's wrapped up, maybe we can do an overall. This is one basically that I would want to skip, or that I would fast forward through some of its parts, because it's not good. So that's my spiel. Which one of you want to go next?
I went into this thinking this was going to be garbage, and I came out thinking I was right. I
It's
had
garbage?
I had a couple of beers. I was like, okay, I know what this is going to be. The only person that had fun in that movie theater was Jason Momoa. He's the only one that had fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, okay, the Rocket League, okay, it was kind of chaotic. I was like, all right, this is going to be dumb fun.
Right.
But then they ruin it trying to be serious. With these serious moments
you.
take you out, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, this is cringe. I'm rolling my eyes. Nobody really gives a shit about this. We're here for the stupidity. And all the
Yeah.
cool action scenes they're just there for amusement, jingling some keys or something, because there's no tension. There's
No.
nothing.
No.
So you don't really care.
There's no
You're just
tension.
like,
There's
okay,
no stakes. There's no
cool.
risk.
No.
You're expecting characters to, in Jason Momoa, they try to position him. Oh, he was the son of a guy in one of the previous films.
It doesn't
and
make
then they,
sense, though.
Then they refilm some of the and take old footage. You even get to see Paul Walker again at the beginning, and they say,
Oh,
"Oh, Jason was there the whole time." No, he fucking wasn't.
Yeah, he's
And-
like, you took my family from me. It's like, motherfucker, you're 40. You could have had your own family, done your own thing.
Thank you.
Why
That's what
the
I was
fuck-
gonna
He
say.
didn't take your family. You're the one that
He
did
also
all
says,
this.
I don't like my father very much. And then several points, he's like, you took that away from me. He's like, nobody took nothing away from you. It's like, yeah, your father died.
You're 40.
But
you
you
could have
hated
had
it.
your own family. if
You could have done
wanted
whatever
to.
the fuck you wanted. It
You're
was
a
just, it
rich
rings
kid.
hollow. He's supposed to be this new bad threat, and he's like, you took my family, I'm going to take yours. And we're like, whoa, the stakes are up. He's going to murder his son, or at least some of his family members are going
No,
to die to protect.
nobody.
There's no stakes. Wait, Joe.
It's a fact.
All right.
You
Nobody
know
dies.
this. You know
Well, we'll
this.
talk about it in the spoiler section, which is more
They make
like
fun of it last.
breakdown
Yeah,
section.
they make fun of it last one. It's like, oh, it's like we have plot armor. We can do whatever we want, and that's basically the running joke. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So other than some cool action scenes, they take themselves too seriously, and it just brings it down. I was like, I don't give a shit. We're not here for your family. We're just here for the stupidity of this movie, and
Yeah.
you're bringing it down with everything else, and trying to make other characters do stupid ass things. They're just there to kind of drive the plot forward, but
Yeah.
in the stupidest ways.
Yeah, drive the plot
So
forward. huh?
here, I looked it up. It's going to be 2 films. They said, I know people are going to feel like it doesn't have to end, said Vin Diesel, but I think all good things should. There's reason for a finale, and I think the franchise has deserved it. Later on, then an interview with Lewis, who replaced Lynn, said, Fast X is big. What we're planning for the next is gigantic. In terms of action, scope, and emotion, you will feel all the feels. Tears will
There-
roll, he
I
says.
don't give a shit. There are no feels. If you try to get me with his son, I didn't give a shit about them kidnapping the son, trying to take his son. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't. I really
they
don't.
just didn't
I might
do
be cynical
enough.
or whatever, but
Like it was
it was
just not.
bullshit.
The
But
11th will
at
be
the
the
same
final
time, I do want them to continue because I want to see Vin Diesel at 70
Dude, they were
doing
driving
the stunts.
cars, Yeah.
Still with no
beating
sleeves.
up with like what is it, ILS, Invisible Lat Syndrome.
Oh yeah.
He's always walking around like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my take.
Yeah.
70-year-old
kind
Vin
of with
Diesel.
I'm with both of you
It's
guys.
about
I think Jason
family.
Momoa was actually I was very shocked how much I actually liked his character, and I think that this movie is abysmal, and he really did elevate it, the scenes that he's in it. I mean, he's chewing up scenery, and he's just like he's having a fucking ball. It feels like there's just too many characters. It feels like there's a bunch of almost unrelated scenes, barely linked together with explosions. The tone is all over the fucking place. Like, you have Tyrese Gibson being a fucking goofball. And, you know, like last movie, like you said, he's like, oh, I'm invulnerable. Nothing can happen to me. And he's still this kind of goofy character. And then the very next scene, you got Vin Diesel. He's like, he wants to talk.
You need subtitles.
Family.
We need subtitles.
And then so he has these like serious scenes, and so the movie is all over the fucking place. This movie needed to open up with Jason Momoa shooting someone in the fucking face and having them actually die, because
Yes.
there was no tension in this entire time, because we have characters that come back from the fucking they died on camera.
Yeah,
and
the
then
guy from Tokyo Drift died. Now he's back, and
then-
we're like, me and Joe were like, excuse me, how did he
Death
come
and
back?
physics don't
And said-
count.
they say don't.
Physics and death don't
How
count.
did they explain his death?
I think Mr.
Come
Nobody,
back. Oh, that's
he
right.
like
There's-
grabs
don't ask
him.
questions.
Yeah, and so like there's a lot of problems with just like the tone of this movie, and I missed a lot of them. And I always explain that the Fast and the Furious
Lucky.
franchise is like a simmering pot of water, and you guys have been sitting in it when it was room temperature, and your frogs and you're hanging out with, it, and as the stupidity
No,
starts to
there was
rise.
some that were good, and I will still defend those.
I didn't
This
see
one
him.
Just didn't work.
Well, so I didn't
You
see him. I didn't
them.
see him, and so like the
We'll
stupid
have to-
starts to
have
rise,
to
and you
show
guys
you.
are sitting there doing that, and then it's like I see Hobbs and Shaw, and I see the last one, and I see this one, and I'm like, look, man. All I've seen after the first one is stupid, and all these movies have always just been ridiculous because I don't have that nostalgia pulling me. Like, oh, this is cool. This links here. So I
Yeah.
just think this is more of the same than I watched the last two times, except for Jason Momoa was excellent. But
Okay, you watched the last one.
I
Yeah.
disagree with
Is
them
this
on
better
Jason
or worse
Momoa. I
than the
think
last
Jason
one?
Momoa was
I
over the
think
top.
it's worse. But I really like Jason Momoa.
It's hard to say.
I think he
right?
wasn't
Yeah,
believable
because I
as a
like
villain
Jason.
for me personally.
If I could take Jason out of this one,
Oh, this
and
is
just
this is bad.
done. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
It's
Set
it's
pieces
tough.
suck. The action sequences are eye rolling, and it's just not working anymore for me. It's a parody of a parody, and they're taking it too serious. It used to be tongue in cheek, where they're like, "We should have died." I know, right?
Yeah.
But here it's like.
We can
It's
do
not
whatever the fuck
mentioned.
we want.
It's not
We do
mentioned
whatever we
in
want.
that tongue-in-cheek kind of way. It's taken super serious, and we're trying to make we're trying to make those tears come out. And it's like, bro, you're not at that level. You don't have the writing chops. You don't have the characters. You're going from scene to scene. Literally, a scene is like, it hyper jumps from next scene to next scene. It's just an excuse to go to the next location. And for one or two characters, yeah. And then you mentioned that Tyree, he's all funny. And in this one, they get into a fucking fight over nothing, and they're not actually punching each other and just beating each other up.
He's the worst leader.
And it sucks. I don't get it. It's not funny. Pete Davidson is in it for no reason.
None of the humor
Like
Yo,
works.
that
whole
fight was
fu-
so
that whole
weird, bro.
sequence,
One humor thing worked.
The
When he,
subplot was so fucking annoying. I hated it. And yeah, I only think I laughed maybe one or two times.
when Momoa pulls out his tooth and throws it at him, it's his
Yeah.
butthole. Funniest
He's like,
part
"What
of the whole
hell,
franchise.
butthole?"
Yeah. See,
I laughed
see,
at
that's funny. That was the
And I
one
will
funny
say,
part.
I will say, Pete Davidson had the other funny line where when they're fighting in a fucking piece of shit internet cafe with awful computers, CRT monitors, and copiers from 30 years ago, they start fighting and running into things. And he's like, "You guys are causing like multiple dollars worth of damage," and said the hundreds of dollars. He's like, "A few dollars worth of damage."
Not worth the
And,
price of
and
admission.
it's true, right? It's not worth the price of admission. And this stuff is funnier than it comes across on screen. I don't know, man. This one just didn't work for me, and I think it all just came crashing down, and it's falling apart. And I couldn't even enjoy it really for just the action sequences because at this point I expect ridiculous action.
Yeah, exactly.
And the ridiculous action never rose to the levels of any of the previous ridiculous action. And now when I see it, when it attempts to, it's like, oh god, yeah, that was so fucking stupid. It's like, what was your plan here? That made no sense if you followed through. What did he do? Did he just use a car to hit a fucking crane, and then the crane? Did he do the calculations in his head? Right? You know, it's
He
like
felt the
you didn't
car.
you didn't do that last time because they just did it. And then they kind of laughed about it, and it was fun. And this one is fucking serious.
That's what it is. This movie is shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit just happens. This is what this movie
The next
is.
scene, shit happens. The next scene, shit happens. I have bad news, though. In May 2023, during the film's premiere in Rome, Diesel claimed that Universal requested that the series be extended to a 3-part finale, thus extending the main series to 12 films. That's what Universal wants, and I'm pretty sure that's what Diesel was going to give them. Because, like I said, this film ends, and it's not finished.
Wow.
Again, I want to see
We're
70-year-old
going to get
Vin
more
Diesel
Jason. We're going to get
Wow.
more of these
doing his own
characters.
stunts.
Bro.
When we said there's no stakes, they try to make it seem like there's stakes, but you don't see anything on screen. It's never mentioned. The film ends, and you just got to wait till the next film to see that everybody's okay, and we're a big family now. And I'm like, just
Yeah, they're
fuck.
definitely okay.
Here's the thing. The next film has to, like, the fuck. This guy himself says this one is amazing. The next one's gigantic. It has to be.
I want
Because I am
Alex's
no
idea.
longer. What is Alex? I'm no longer on board for the silly action if they're gonna be this bad.
So a whole bunch of shit happens, and maybe somebody dies. They go back in time.
they do the time travel.
Someone
Time
dies
travel.
finally, and they go
Well,
back
they
in
break in
time.
physics all the time anyway, so we might as well break the law.
They already went to space.
Yo.
Where else can
and
you
time.
go?
Yeah, I
Bro.
wish they actually went to space. They did do like fucking orbit, but I wanted
They went
even
to
more.
space
I
in a
wanted
park.
Jason X space shit. Like, anyway.
Or he comes back as a ghost. Ghost Diesel.
Yeah. So Lynn left as a director, citing creative differences. Creative differences. So the guy that directed the last one and then the other previous one, I was enjoying myself. And I think I agree with Justin Lin's direction and what he was doing. So he cited creative differences. Then Leterrier was then hired as a replacement a week later and performed several uncredited rewrites to the screenplay. Then they rushed it, and then they did this, and then they did that. And, that was it.
Yeah.
And I felt it. I felt
Yeah,
it.
like you mentioned, it feels like all of the actors went into the writing room and demanded that they all get cool. Like, I want to do this. I want to be punching a guy who's in a punching bag, and I want to have this scene where I kill 2 helicopters with a car, and I want to
It's
do
like,
this.
I've never done the combat like y'all have, and I want the scene where like I fucking knock him. I'm half this guy's size, and I knock him off his feet, and then I do a fucking wrestling move. Ludacris gets something like that. And I'm like, that was simply filmed because Ludacris needs a moment.
Yeah, I want to hack the thing. You know, with the.
Don't even don't. We'll get to the spoiler section because that's going to be a
It gets
separate
dumber.
video. So you can download the video if you feel like it, but
Or just
I
accept that we
fucking-
have different opinions.
Yeah.
on
Or
stuff.
it's the internet.
Be
Alex.
reasonable.
could.
Be
It's the-
reasonable
you could.
in
Okay,
online.
here's the thing. I like this franchise, and I was disappointed by what I saw. Okay, I don't think it was better than the last one. I think it's one of the worst ones. It is definitely higher budget than some of these things that we've seen, like the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift and some of these other ones. It is just B movie shit with tons of money, $375 million budget, and it's just fucking
300 is-
stupid. It's cringe stupid.
$375 million budget? Bro, I would have guessed like maybe 200 million. 225, 250 tops. This man just said $375 million budget, bro. This movie was not on that level. Like he was saying about the set pieces, there were no big like action sequences that were really all that good. You had the giant bowling ball bomb thing. You had the the part the highway where they just a shootout on a highway. He jumps into the crane, and the crane, you have like a couple, like, it's you have John Cena blows up like two cars, and that's it. Like, that's it. Most of this movie was like the characters being John Wick. Like, everybody was like John Wick in this movie. There's just so much gun fu and freaking martial arts. Like, they were just fighting guys with a bunch of guns with their hands. So much. Everybody was doing it. It was. All right, I'm done. I'm done talking about it.
And stupid now instead of dumb fun, dumb stupid fun. And I hope the next one. I don't really have hope for the next one. All I want to see is Jason Momoa killing people, and
Not gonna
I hope
happen.
we're going to see
Not
that
gonna
a
happen.
little bit more in the next one. Yeah.
I don't have any
Jason
hope
Momoa
either, by the
basically
way.
carries the film with his psychotic
Joker
performance.
almost.
He's kind of definitely a character. There is a really dark scene in this film with two cadavers and dead bodies, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And it looks gross. And if this is a family, you bring in your family, it's like a family film. I'm like, and it feels like a scene that could easily be cut out and left on a cutting room floor for DVD, like specials and extras. And I'm like, wow,
This is a very cynical film. The kid
Cynical.
kills multiple people and laughs about it.
Not only that, but they have a
kills people.
stupid subplot, and we'll get to details that we can remember in the spoiler section, but I have to point this out. There's a subplot with the agency. So as we know, over time, our car thieves and DVD thieves have turned into international spies with this agency that they work with. Well, the agency fucking betrays them, right? And so we have our heroes literally killing other heroes. They're killing the agency because the agency shows up to kidnap them and take them to jail. And then they just start pouring bullets into the agency.
Yeah, in the first 10 minutes.
And it's never addressed. It's never mentioned. We're just killing agents and officers now.
But they're wearing helmets, so
And
they're
then
not real
everything's
people.
okay.
I
Yeah,
never
the
even
first 10
thought
They
minutes,
were
about
all
there's a-
rubber bullets?
There's like
No, they're all wearing helmets, so they don't
Helmets.
count as people.
you can't see their face, so it doesn't
true.
matter.
Yeah.
They're just nobody's NPCs.
Yeah.
So in the first 10 minutes, there's like 20 or 30 double crosses. It's like, I double crossed you. No, I double crossed you.
Well, it took 10 minutes after the credits because, they replay Fast 8 or something.
Yeah, and then after that, it's like,
Oh,
double
yeah,
cross,
the-
double
okay,
cross.
got it, double cross.
cross you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew I couldn't count on you, so I did this.
Yeah, because Jason shows up with two guys that he just fucking beat up, and he's in the fucking main boss's, what's her name? Charlie
Simple
Theron's
Jack.
Simple Jack.
fucking thing. What's Simple Jack? What is that?
Simple Jack is from Tropic Thunder.
Put
Our
up a
dr-
picture side by side.
Yeah, and it's
Okay, I don't remember.
I'll send it to you.
Oh, the bowl head haircut?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she doesn't have that. Luckily, she doesn't have that haircut in this one. They got serious with it. She looked like a penis head in the last one. Anyways, there's some double crosses and shit there.
Yeah, we'll
so,
talk more about it in spoilers. So I guess
If y'all
we'll-
can even remember, because there's so
spo-
many
yeah.
dumb subplots that suck.
So,
All right, let's go ahead and go to final verdicts, Joe.
best thing I could do is
The best I can do. What
Best
do we
I
have?
can
The
do.
Pond Legends?
the only reason why I'm
best I
giving
can
it
do.
an extra point. I'm gonna
Ooh,
give
best a
4.
point.
A 4.
A 4. You were going to give it a 3.
I was gonna give it 3, but I
What's
do
the
like
4 for?
Jason. It's
Jason.
the only thing. He's
Yeah.
like, okay, he's on screen and he's on it quite a bit.
Yes.
It's like, okay, that's
Yes.
it's cool. But other than that, they
Bro,
took themselves
I
too
know.
seriously with these stupid moments.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's dying in my arms, like some
Okay, a
random
new
person.
character that just shows
don't
up, this
care.
chick that
'Cause
nobody
we
cares
need,
about.
We need somebody to die, so it's like, okay, this person's like, I don't care about
Try
this
not to
person.
spoil. Yeah.
So Vin Diesel's just like pouring his heart out, and it's like, I don't care.
I don't care either.
Who?
Yeah.
Is the audience like really into this
Like,
shit?
this
And that's
movie
why, like,
just will
was
make
way
you
better.
tap
There's
out.
a lot of
There's
emotion
passionate
here.
I
fans out
tapped
there.
out of this
Emotion
movie like
here.
30
I was
minutes
there.
in.
I was just
and
there
just
just to
didn't
have
care.
fun.
Hits me in the field.
I'm not there for the story because that. Oh, shit. You go for Fast X for a story,
you're gonna have a bad time.
you have bad times. So I was just there for the explosion and just shit to happen. But I was disappointed. 4 for me, only because of Jason.
Yeah, I think this one is worse than the last one. I think the action is just not up to par, even for like the ridiculousness of like Hobbs and Shaw and the other one that I've seen, which was 9. So everything here is a pretty big downgrade, with the exception that Jason Momoa's villain character was really interesting to watch, and he would be the only reason, other than I'm being forced to watch any of the other ones that are going to come after this. The story is worse. There's just too many characters, and on top of that, we're adding more characters into the final two movies, and so I'm really not looking forward to the ones that are coming later. There's too much happening here. There's too many storylines that don't earn their place. And when you have multiple storylines and there's like 5 different sequences with different groups doing things, some of them are going to be more
Yeah.
interesting. Some of them are going to be way less interesting, and we spend
And
too
in
much
this one, they're all not interesting.
Yeah, and then some of them try to be super silly, while other ones are like taking themselves. Like Vin Diesel thinks he's doing Shakespeare in the
They're
Park
hitting
sometimes, and it
every
just doesn't
single
fucking
thing
work. Like it
that I
does
have
not
wrong
work,
with the movie.
and it just
Every
I don't know
problem
what's
that I have
happening.
with it.
Door, fucking
Yeah.
shields, and gunfire, and he's just walking out in the open.
And he's because he's bulletproof and he knows what's happening. It's just I don't know. This franchise hasn't been for me. I think I missed too much of the stuff in the middle to really like.
Well, let's have a recap.
You know, I'm good. I think it's important for me to have a unique view on the franchise. So I
might-
definitely should not have to watch any of those other movies. So I think this movie is every bit like almost every worse in every single way. So I would normally give it a 3, but I'm also going to do the thing where I upgrade it to a 4. I think it's a below average movie.
Yep.
If you're here for explosions, I think you could do better.
Yeah.
We're actually fucking in agreement. You could do better. There's 9 other better films. Well, some of them aren't as strong as the others, so let's call it 5. There's 5 other better films in this franchise itself. If you just want to see the continuation of the characters, that's cool, man. If you want to see Jason Momoa's performance, I'm with you. I appreciate it. He's the best in the film. I was between a 4 and a 5, an average film, but I think this one just really. I don't know if because we watched it in early morning. We watched it at
No,
11:20
that's what it is.
a.m. Nobody was in the theater. I don't think it's going to do bad. I just think that nobody goes to on Friday at 11. And it just didn't work for me this time for all of the reasons that Alex, me, Joe just laid out. Just so that you understand. Don't tell me it's supposed to be stupid. Like we've already addressed that fucking point. Well, now you're writing it anyway.
Probably.
All right, 4 out of 10 as well. We all are on the same score. Last one I gave a 6 out of 10 in case you wanted some
4 out of
context
10.
on that.
Did you ever see Super Fast?
What is super fast?
It's a
No.
spoof.
It's already a
God
spoof.
damn it,
If
Joe.
you can't spoof a movie series that's already
It's
spoofing
dumb.
itself.
It's dumb. Some of you might have seen it, but it's dumb.
One person in there's like, yeah, I saw it.
It's so stupid.
So
I
I'm
would
gonna
recommend it.
round up and down on these scores just so we can. I'm on Rotten Tomatoes. Once we do this, we'll go to the separate video for spoiler section. But Fast and the Furious, we're gonna do critics first. So these are all gonna be low, right? Because racing sucks, and this shit sucks. Well, the first Fast and Furious, rounding down 50 or a 5. Fast and Furious 2, 4. Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, 4. Fast and Furious 2009, 3. Fast 5, rounding out at 8. Fast and Furious 6, 7. Fast and Furious 7, 8. That's the one that I think people consider the best one. Fast and Fate of the Furious, this is 8. Rounded up 7. Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw, it's the side thing, 7. F9, 6. And then Fast
I
8
hated Hobbs and
or
Shaw.
Fast 10, 5. So here's the audience now. The first one, 7. Second one, 5. Third one, 7. Fourth one, 7. Fast 5, 8. Fast 6, 8. Furious 7, 8. Fate of the Furious 7. Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw, they got 8. That's a 9, 88%, round up to a 9. F9, 8. And this one is sitting at 85%, so I think it's at 9 technically from the audience. Maybe an 8 when people calm down. Because obviously when movies first come out, I know, Joe, we're in bizarro world here.
whatever.
So
It's whatever.
it's whatever. I know. Anyways,
A lot of people
and
like
I've had
the
a few
movie.
people I talked to. It's like, yeah, have you seen Fast? It's
Like,
better than
for-
last one.
Amazing.
You know, like I don't get it.
Can you explain why?
I'm
But they
glad
did
that
pick out Jason Momoa. I think Jason Momoa is a crowd pleaser, and he
Oh,
is
he
just
does. Yeah, he
awesome.
just
And
he got that charisma. So
yeah, so that I think that's what people are focusing on, and maybe they haven't subjected themselves like you and me to all 9 other films.
or super fast. Don't watch it.
Or super fast. Anyway, so that's gonna be it for this one. We will talk spoilers if we can remember all the fucking subplots. They literally go, you know, a fucking mile a
all
minute.
right.
There's 2-3 minutes for each scene until we fly.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there for you guys. There's only a couple. There's probably like a minute left. It seems like they're just talking. But yeah, for the most part, I like 99% agree with with all 3 of them. The only problem that I have is I wasn't a big fan of Jason Momoa's performance. Like, it was too much. I didn't know, like, and another thing, like, he was too weird. Like, he would dress differently all the time. Like, I don't know what the character was supposed to be. I just don't. It was just all over the place. He wasn't in the movie enough. He had like probably like 25 minutes of screen time. like like he disappears for like a good 30 to 40 minute chunk of the movie. Like, I'm serious. Like, this man just disappears cuz they're jumping around so much doing other things. Like, I just was not feeling Jason Momoa's performance. I wish he would have done more of like, instead of doing like this jokery type situation, I wish they had just did Aquaman, but eviler. Just do a eviler Aquaman type situation. You feel me? But it is what it is. Yeah. But if I were to rate the movie, I would give it a 3. Like, I didn't like it at all. I can't see myself in the near future of my own free will rewatching this movie. Um, a major disappointment, big disappointment. The trailers had me worried, and usually when I get worried about trailers, I'm right, to be honest. And this is another situation like that, even though I let myself get hyped up anyway. So hopefully the next movies will be cool. I doubt it, because if people, it seems like people do like this movie, so, which people have different opinions or whatever. But if people really do like this movie, or if it gets just enough of a positive response, they're not gonna change anything in the 12th Fast and Furious movie. They're not gonna change anything. It's gonna be the exact same or worse. So that's why I have no hope. I have no hope for Jason Momoa as a villain. He's supposed to be like the big, like, this is basically like the Infinity War for fat. Like, they're trying to do their own Infinity War. If you look at this movie, that's basically what it is, right? And it's like, is Jason Momoa a good enough villain to be their Thanos? You know, he's not even close. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know, I'm open to, I don't have any problem with people having different opinions than me. So, we could talk about it. I read all my comments. So your voice will be heard. You know, let us know what you think. So that's it for the video today. Appreciate you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you.